Okay, good morning. In the last class, we were
Good morning, sir.
discussing. Okay, good morning. In the last class, we were discussing on the diamond turn machining. So we have seen diamond turn machining. It is a ultra precision and accuracy machining technique. There we use a diamond tool, single point crystal diamond tool for the machining for the turning operation, and we can see here the cutting edges are made sharpened to the range of 20 nanometers. So that particular shorter uh, value of the cutting edge is possible. So due to that, we will be able to have close tolerances, precise, accurate, and positioning, etc., etc. Okay. Now we will see what are the main applications. The main applications. So these are the main applications of diamond turn machining. That is, uh, we'll be able to mainly we are focusing on the production of optical shapes, complex optical shapes, geometries, etc. So in that, these are the main uh, areas or applications. First of all, 360-degree cameras, projections, projectors and all, spectrometers, aerospace applications, medical applications, blood analyzers, probes, fingerprint scanners, barcode scanners, etc., etc. So in all these kind of appliances or applications, we use diamond turn machining. Now we'll see certain things regarding the material removal. So in diamond turn machining, material removal takes place by plastic deformation, microfracture, and dislodgement of the grains. So in elastic forming and all, we have seen how it is being conducted, or how the transformation process from the raw material or the initial stage to final product occurred. It is due to the plastic deformation. Now in the diamond turn machining, it is due to mainly three things, that is plastic deformation, microfracture, and dislodgement of the grains. Plastic deformation ഉണ്ട്, അതുപോലെ എന്താണ് ഈ പറഞ്ഞ കാര്യങ്ങളും ഉണ്ട്. Now regarding the material removal rate, whether it is high or low, this is limited to few atoms or layers of atoms. So usually this is a micro or nano machining process. So here only a few atoms or a layer of atoms will be removed. So that is the material removal rate regarding that. And the edge radius we have already seen. Edge radius of the tool is made up to 20 to 40 nanometers. And here we can see usually ductile materials are being uh, machined using this particular mechanism. Till then, we will be able to machine certain brittle materials also, like glass, silicon, germanium, silicon carbide, etc., using the ductile mode machining. That means machining brittle materials in a ductile manner. Okay, so these are all about uh, diamond turn machining. Now we will move to the next topic, that is abrasive flow machining. Abrasive flow machining. So what is an abrasive flow machine? So usually we have seen regarding the abrasives. Abrasive particles are nothing but hard particles which can cause erosion or cause a ploughing action on the material, due to which the material is being removed, and we can get a finished surface. Either you can do this process for finishing operation, or mainly for the finishing operation, or in some case we can use for cutting also. And for example, we have seen abrasive water jet machining, abrasive jet machining, etc., etc. So now we are considering the micro level or nano level machining operations. There, this particular process is the abrasive flow machining. So what is abrasive flow machining? Not abrasive machining, but abrasive flow machining. That means here this is a type of machining where abrasives are used, and also the term flow. The term flow refers to nothing but here there is a flow of materials, abrasive materials with some carrier medium, and during this flow, what happens? There is an erosion, and how the flow is, or what are the types of flow in abrasive flow machining, that we will see. So abrasive flow machining, first of all, it finishes the surfaces and edges by forcing a flowable abrasive media. So which all things, that is the surfaces, mainly the surfaces and also the edges of the workpieces. So these portions are finished using the abrasive flow machining. How? By forcing a flowable abrasive media. The abrasive media which is flowable, that means it is mixed with some uh, carrier fluid. So due to which erosion occurs, erosion of the workpiece occurs, performing the erosion of the material. Now the materials ploughed by the fine abrasives. So the fine abrasives are present in the carrier medium, and these fine abrasives, presence of the fine abrasives makes use of high pressure, and which helps in corroding or ploughing the material from the workpiece. So uh, initially we said that this is one of the type of nano machining or micro machining operation. So we know the material removal rate will be also small, or the material will be removed in an atomic level, or a layer of atom will be removed, like the case of other also, like diamond turn machining. Here also the same thing. There is a material removal rate is low, or we can say using abrasive flow machining, the main aim is, or main function is finishing operation. This is mainly meant for finishing operation, and the machining or usual machining also can be done, but the main focus is on the finishing operation or the finishing um, process. And here you can see this is abrasive flow machining. We have abrasive particles which is fixed, or which is mixed with the carrier medium. So what are the abrasive particles used, or what is the carrier medium used in the particular machining operation? So first of all, uh, abrasive particle. Regarding the abrasive particle we use is silicon carbide. So generally, silicon carbide is used as the abrasive particle, which is mixed with the, or which is mixed in a carrier medium. Carrier medium, here it is given. That is the silicon, silicon oil, or mineral oil, or water, anything. So these things are made as the carrier medium. So in abrasive flow machining, we use abrasive particles mixed with the carrier fluid or carrier medium. The abrasive particles used are silicon carbide mainly. Then the carrier medium. Regarding the carrier medium, we usually use three types of things, not three, but the main things are silicon oil, mineral oil, or water. So whatever may be, these are the things. Now AFM, or the abrasive flow machining. So it makes it ideal, or it is ideal for the mainly interior or machining of interior surfaces, slots, holes, cavities, or any other areas, which will be difficult to machine using any other grinding operation or polishing operation like that. So usually by conventional practices or conventional polishing machine process or conventional grinding process, certain areas cannot be touched. Certain complex figure, in the case of complex surfaces, whether sometimes in an interior area having a small dimension, so will not be able to reach the grinding tool, or the grinding tool cannot reach certain positions. Polishing tool cannot go into certain depth. So in that cases, this will be more beneficial, like abrasive flow machining. So this is ideal for interior surfaces, slots, holes, cavities, and other areas which are difficult to reach with other polishing or grinding processes. Now, regarding the material removal rate, we have already said it is very low because it is removing in the nanometer level or micrometer level, and we are able to remove the material in the range of atomic level or layer of atoms. One or two layer of atoms will be removed. So, due to this low material removal rate, this particular machining operation, that is abrasive flow machining, it is not used for large stock removal operations. So in the applications where we need large material removal, we cannot use this particular process. Okay. So this next, the highest amount of material removal occurs where the flow is restricted. That means in the figure you can see this is the setup of a abrasive flow machine. So here you can see one piston, and here also you can see one piston, right? So this is one of the type of abrasive flow machining. There are mainly two types, that is one-way flow and two-way flow. One-way flow means the carrier, which all abrasive particles are there, the abrasive particles along with the carrier medium will come from one point and go away. So there will be a one side flow or single direction. It will flow in a single direction. Say in if this is the second thing, that is a two-way flow. Anyway, that will be like this. So there will be a chamber and the workpiece material, which all thing is there. Maybe here workpiece material, and the abrasive particles and the carrier medium will enter like this and goes like this. So while flowing, what happens is the abrasive particles will be impinging on the workpiece and it will erode the workpiece surface. So this is one way flow. Here it is two-way flow, where you can see two pistons are there. So in the first half, what happens is both the pistons will move downward. So the total mixture will move downward. Then it will move upward. At that time, this will the liquid or the carrier medium with mixed with the abrasive particles will move upward. So this is the two-way flow. So in this mechanism, what happens is the basic thing is while the carrier fluid mixed with the abrasive particles move along the workpiece, either it is a one-way flow or two-way flow. it will erode the surface accordingly. So this is happening with a high pressure. So this is the mechanism. This is another figure. You can see the two pistons, the top piston, upper medium cylinder. The workpiece is kept here, and the abrasive medium. The blue color is the carrier medium, and green color portion are the abrasive particles. You can see, and this is the lower medium cylinder, and the workpiece, the surface interacting surface of the workpiece and the carrier. It is enlarged here, shown here. You can see the erosion, the forces acting on it, how it is being eroded. The green color thing, that is the abrasive particles, hard particles, that is ploughing the workpiece material with a force. So this is the basic figure. Okay. Okay, as I said earlier, these are the two types of abrasive flow machining. There is one-way flow and two-way flow. Now, regarding the advantages, disadvantages, etc. First of all, we'll see what are the advantages of the process or the abrasive flow machining. First advantage, advantage, improved surface quality. So by abrasive flow machining process, we'll be having a improved surface quality. Next, tight tolerances. Tight tolerances are or close tolerances are possible using the abrasive flow machining. And the third one, it produces uniform, repeatable, and predictable results. So the end products will be uniform. We'll be able to produce the uniform structures, repeatable and predictable results. And fourth one, faster setup and quick change tooling. So the tool changing, and also regarding the setup, these are the downtimes. So in every operation, we have two types of time, or the time of machining can be split into two. That is uptime and downtime. Uptime is the productive time, and the downtime is the time, extra time required for tool setup and all. So these are the time, that is setup time and tool changing time. Here it is faster. Next, regarding the control of the process, here through abrasive flow machining, we'll be able to have an excellent process control. Process control can be done excellently. Then it is able to process large parts. Even large parts can be machined using the abrasive flow machining. Now, deburring, radiusing, and polishing are performed simultaneously in a single operation. So within a single operation, we can do all set of these operations, like deburring, removing the burrs, then radiusing, making radius, polishing, etc. Everything can be done in a single operation, or can do it simultaneously. Now, one more, that is abrasive flow machining can process dozens of holes or multiple passages parts simultaneously. That means it can do simultaneously many operations in a single time. Okay, so these are the main advantages of a abrasive flow machining. Now we'll see the disadvantages. Some disadvantages or limitations are there. First of all, low MRR, the main thing, that is material removal rate will be low. Then it can machine blind holes. So since this whole machining operation it is being conducted using the abrasive particles or the erosion of the abrasive particles. So there is a tendency to machine the blind holes. Blind holes can be made using this process. And finally, one more thing, that is regarding the cost, it is very expensive. So these are the main disadvantages or limitations of a abrasive flow machining. Now, what are the process parameters? What are the process parameters which may affect the various qualities of a regarding like material removal rate or surface finish, anything? What are the process parameters? So these are the process parameters, key process parameters. That is media flow rate. That means the carrier medium. We are having the carrier medium. So the flow rate of the carrier medium, whether it is high or low, that affects the total quality of the end product. Then pressure of the flow. So the flow rate, then pressure of the flow. Pressure of flow of this particular carrier medium with the abrasive. Then viscosity, viscosity of the liquid. Next, abrasive particle size and shape. So the size and shape of the abrasive particles, whether it is a coarse grain or fine grain. Then abrasive concentration. So the percentage concentration of the abrasive particles in the mixture, or the ratio of abrasive particles to the carrier medium. So that concentration. Then particle hardness. That means the hardness of the abrasive particles. So whether it is very high, heavy, or very hard, or it is or the hardness is low, depending on that. So the abrasive particle hardness. Then regarding the hardness of the workpiece hardness, and finally the cross section area. So these are the main process parameters which may affect the various quality parameters of a machining operation. Now the applications, where it is applicable. So here it is the abrasive flow machining process. This is widely used for finishing process to finish the complicated shapes and profiles. So as you have seen, many areas which were difficult to machine, like complex structures or interior surfaces, slots, drilled holes, etc., etc. Everywhere we can use abrasive flow machining. So this is widely used for finishing process, mainly for finishing process, and not much for the machining operation. Mainly used for the finishing operation to finish the complicated shapes and profiles. Then we'll see some other applications in aerospace, medical, and automobile, tool and die, etc., etc., where we'll be able to have a better surface roughness value or tight tolerances, improved surface quality, reduction in the friction, eliminate the imperfection. So these types of things, wherever we need, then we move on to abrasive flow machining. And also finally, it is well suited for use on the gas turbine engine components. Gas turbine engine components where we need a complex geometries. So in the complex geometries in certain gas turbine engine components, we use or we switch on to this particular machining operation. So these are all about the abrasive flow machining. Now, okay, we'll just start with another topic, that is magnetic abrasive finishing. So what is magnetic abrasive finishing? Previous one was the abrasive flow machining, where we use a abrasive particles mixed with the what you call the carrier medium, and it is used to erode the or the using the ploughing action of the abrasive particles. We are able to machine the uh, particular workpiece, and it is basically used for finishing operation. Now, next is the magnetic abrasive finishing. That means we have some magnetic effects using certain magnetic field, and the usage of abrasive particles we use machine the surface. And now we'll see how it is being conducted. So this is a process where we use a mixture. We use a mixture of mainly non-ferromagnetic abrasives, non-ferromagnetic abrasives and ferromagnetic iron particles. So two particles. That is one non-ferromagnetic abrasive. That is the abrasive particles. Abrasive particles. What is their function? The abrasive particles are used to plough the material, or it is the hardest material. Hard materials we are using, which is used to plough the material. So this is a non-ferromagnetic particle. That means it is not having the magnetic property. So the abrasive particles we need the abrasive particles in order to plow or remove the material. But the thing is, it is usually non-magnetic or the ferromagnetic material. So what we do is we just mix these particles with some other material which is having the magnetic properties. Those particles are ferromagnetic. That is a ferromagnetic iron particles. So in magnetic abrasive finishing (MAF), in this process or in this finishing operation, we take a mixture of non-ferromagnetic abrasives, that is non-magnetic or non-ferromagnetic abrasive particles mixed with ferromagnetic, that means having a magnetic property, ferromagnetic iron particles. So this particular mixture is taken and magnetically energized using certain magnetic field. Then we will get a flexible magnetic abrasive brush as shown in the figure. Here you can see in the top portion there is a north pole, and the bottom portion you can see S, that means south pole, and in between that you can see the workpiece is kept. Okay, so the workpiece is kept between the north pole and south pole, and in between a dome shaped structure is visible here, right? That is nothing, it is a mixture of non-ferromagnetic abrasives and ferromagnetic iron particles. So when the magnetic field is applied, either using permanent magnet or electromagnet, then there will be magnetic lines of forces like this, and due to which the abrasive particles and the magnetic particles that will join each other. Everything will join each other along the line of the magnetic force, and they will form a flexible magnetic abrasive brush. You can see here. So a flexible magnetic abrasive brush will be created like this, and this will act like a multi-point cutting tool. So like in a milling cutter and all, this particular thing. So when we apply the magnetic field, external magnetic field, either using electromagnet or uh, permanent magnet, along the line of action or along the line of force, magnetic line of force, this particular materials, that is two things we have seen, that is the non-magnetic or non-ferromagnetic abrasives and the ferromagnetic ion particles. So both the components will join together. Both the things will join together and form a flexible thing or the flexible magnetic abrasive brush as shown in the figure, and this will uh, be used as a multiple point tool, or it will act like a multiple cutting tool and perform the action of either it is polishing, grinding, or anything. So you can see it is rotated, the top portion. So while it is rotating, this flexible magnetic abrasive brush also will rotate. This brush is nothing but the magnetically energized mixture. Okay, so this will also rotate, and the abrasive particles they will erode or fluff the material from the workpiece surface, and hence the material removal mechanism occurs. Okay, so regarding the other things like advantages, applications, process parameters, everything we will discuss on the next class. So these are about our today's class. Okay, so I will take the attendance. Nitin sir, Nitin sir, record ഒന്ന് stop ചെയ്യണേ. Advait, Ajay Krishna,
Present, sir.
Akhil K,
Present, sir.
Akshay Krishna,
Present, sir.
Akshay Krishna T,
Present, sir.
Akshay Rajivan Nambyar, Amarnath.
Sir, chat box ൽ ഇട്ടുണ്ട് അക്ഷരാജ്.
Okay, okay. Amarnath,
Present, sir.
Clint Frederick,
Present, sir.
Diljit Suresh,
Present, sir.
Gogul Gangadharan, Gogul Gangadharan,